You would think I know how to start these videos by now. I still don't. I guess we'll start with welcome back. I don't know the last time I've done this. There's a few reasons for that. I mean, for one, I've been like traveling a lot this summer. Been a pretty busy guy. The past 2 weekends I've just not been home, so I haven't filmed. Also, you will notice I finally got rid of the beard, and the reason for that is your boy's going pro. I'm gonna be starting working at a hedge fund next week, I believe. And so, very much looking forward to this. I'm finally taking, my career and what I want to do with my life to the next level. And to all the doubters that say the waves don't work, that's for you. So before we get into today's video, which is going to be GameStop primarily, I will do a little bit of Bed Bath & Beyond as well as the indexes, because that does play a role in, my general count, what I think is going to happen for the week. Before we get started with the video and the analysis, I would like to talk a little about my Discord, because a lot of people are messaging me asking like what this is, like what it entails. So I won't give you guys the full rundown. It's, it's a trading Discord. It's what you'd expect from like a typical Discord. I'm very diligent about the levels that I post out, the trades, the invalidations, the profits, and we're super accurate. Like I literally have not had, Bed Bath & Beyond. I've literally not missed a trade except for like, I bought one Bed Bath & Beyond leap at like 18 maybe, but the pings were to buy them under 4 and then sell them above 15. But the past few weeks we've just been absolutely killing it, and our projections have they literally haven't missed. They've been so good. So if you are interested in coming and joining the room, banking with us, I'm literally in here like all day, every day. So into the analysis. So what we are looking at today is obviously going to be primarily GameStop, and before I put the count on screen here, I am going to say you're probably not going to like me, or maybe you will, I don't know. I'm circling back to an idea that I have not let die, and I'm going to give you the reasons why I have so much conviction on what I'm about to lay out, and how we can make a lot of money from this. I like to make money, and if you're here, chances are you want to make some money too. So without further ado, let's go. And here we are. Not quite, let's zoom out. Drum roll please. And here we are. This is what we're working with now. I'm gonna explain, so just take it in for a second. Like the yellow degree here, that's questionable. So I just cleared the yellow off screen. The general picture is what you see on screen here, and I'm gonna show you the invalidation level, what to look for this to be correct, and just the reason why I think this is right. So if you've been following me for a while, I pointed out this gap though down here at 22.2. Down there. If I pull up a basic daily chart, and the gap is down here, right? This is the lowest gap we have. We have another one here, that's filled. But yeah, and these are gaps because, right, red candles, you have your open, your high, your low, and your close. If we close here and we open here, this is an unfilled gap, this whole territory right here. Same for down here, right? Open, we didn't go higher than the open. So the open, the high, the low, and the close. The next day open here. So this area between 22.29 and the open of the next day at 22.54. It's about a 25-cent gap that has not been filled. And I've laid this out before. But interestingly enough, right, with our last wave 2 that came down, it filled the gap, and that marked the reversal. Literally to the penny. Right, and this is like during our regular trading hours, not extended hours. Because with extended hours, you'd be looking at this slope, but that wasn't the daily close. So we don't look at this, we look at the daily chart. Right, and this is just like basic level analysis. This isn't, how to actually trade it or anything. That's what we do in the Discord. But, okay, for one, now you have the gaps. Now let's go back to the count, right? And for the longest time, I was trying to, be super bullish, but my biggest issue was this, right? From this low here, be it the supposed wave 2 or however you wanted to interpret it, this cannot be bullish, and it can't be bullish because this is 3 swings. And so I'll go back to like a very early interpretation I had. This might have been like 2-ish weeks ago. This is like the hopium count. And the reason why I always felt like this was a stretch was, for one, it is like super bullish, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I just couldn't make it make sense, because you see we had here's the current count, right? We have ABC here, but if you look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, you can't have that, because, right, if this is a 3 and this is the 4, this is our 1, but if this is already the 2, we can't have our wave 4 coming into the territory of our wave 1. So that kills the idea of this being like a big wave 3, us moving out. and I couldn't figure it out. It didn't make sense to me. And finally it clicked, right? This whole move, it's just a massive expanding flat. Expanding flat is gonna look like this, right? Let's pull it in. It'll be like an A, a B, and a C. And the subdivision is gonna be like this, right? You're gonna have ABC, ABC, and then finally you're gonna have this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. So for this to be valid, first of all, right, we are pretty convinced in this being right, because for one, we have 5 swings up from an impulse out of our low. And if I pull out this, the larger degree chart, you can see it's pretty clear. That's not supposed to be sarcastic, by the way. Right? We look at this entire correction sequence down, and boom, this is our impulse out of this entire correction down. So we already are pretty convinced that our correction period, this whole downward move is done, and this is marked by our impulse out of the correction, right? So now we already have our wave 1. Like, we already know that this is a bullish asset because we're finished correcting. There's no more correction to be had on like the largest degree possible. So what we are doing now, this wave 2, like the wave 1 and the 2, we've had a 1 and again, now we're having a 2 again. And then out of this is 3 and 3 and 3 and 3, but it's going to be a very sharp move down. We're going to expect this move to come down in 5, and the way I drew the ratios is normally with expanding flats. So here's how we draw the ratios, right? We go take our A leg to the top of the B, but for it to be an expanding flat, it must come below this low right here, meaning that our C leg will be greater than our A leg, or meaning our C leg will be greater than our B leg. If we measure our B leg, the actual length, like in dollars, low of B to the high of B was $19.65. So our move down has to be greater than $19.65. Does that make sense? So as soon as we come below the low here at 28.34, it is a valid expanding flat, and we are from basic level as well, right? If we have this, upwards trending support Friday we broke below this level, and so now we're going to be fighting this from the downside, right? And based on our close, and this is what we teach in Discord, it does look bullish for as of now. To trade this, right, we're looking to take longs under 39.16 to take it up to about 38. That's what this is telling me at the moment. From the 4 hour, obviously, you go in to trade this, you kind of work your way up into it and see what the time frames are telling you to get your entries and your exits. But for this to be valid, right, we just cannot break above 47.99. As to everything that happens before then, it doesn't matter, because what we're looking at, our idea of us turning down is correct unless we break 47.99 before breaking below our low here at 28.34. So it doesn't matter, right? It could come up to fucking 47.98 and our view is not proven wrong, right? But anyways, going back to the ratios and how they're drawn, if we need an extension ratio that extends below that level, the next multiple after 1618 is 2618. And would you look at that? That coincides literally 20 cents below the gap fill level that I've outlined, plenty of times. So that makes me think the way the ratios are drawn, the way the gaps are set up, the way the gaps always fill, and the way that the waves are set up, that it makes sense to see a move down to 22 before exploding. Now the invalidation for this level, the invalidation for this entire count would be setting a new low relative to the low we put in on May 12th. That low being 19.44. So if we come below 19.44, this whole thesis, let me do that D1 better. This whole thesis is invalidated only if we come below 19.44, as you can see right here. Now, if I were to visualize this, I say cleaner, but not really. This is how I'm looking at it, like this, right? Your blue box here is your buy zone, because this is what makes it a valid expanding flat. I have the horizontal support line, whatever. I don't really play drawings like that, like just support lines. You need to have concrete Fibonacci levels, but this is how I see it, right? Buy zone, invalidation. Under here, not good at all. But in this zone, buy of your life. And assuming we come down and hit a low at 22.05, this sets up the wave 3 for anywhere between 40.86 to 52.84. I guess we could hit a 2.618 at 71, but all of those targets, that forecasting doesn't really mean anything at the moment because we're not there yet, so it's kind of pointless. But yeah, that's pretty much what we see for GME, right? And if I pull up like a view of like what the flat should look like, I did a whole breakdown in here, I believe. When I figure it out, this is usually what I do here, right? Okay, so look at this picture, right? Or not this one. Look at this one. You're looking at the ABCs in purple within the ABC in white. So ABC and ABC, ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now look at the middle one. ABC, ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and boom. So that's what we're looking at right now. That's it. That's the count, right? So that's when this low hits at 22.05, that marks the low. Like that's it. We don't go lower. Unless we break 19.44. And if we break above 47.99, my view is wrong. So those are the validation and invalidation levels for the GME count. Really quickly, I'll pull up Bed Bath & Beyond. I have like literally one call for January right now. I sold out the bulk of them. Not gonna lie, I did get out too early. The bulk of them, I did sell out the rest of it like right here because I swung calls from here. That was one of my trades. I went long here, literally sold out right here, and I was like, I'm done, that's it. And then we had all the news and all that. I don't really speak too much on that. But this is the count that I'm looking at now. Not really gonna dive into it. You can just pick it apart for yourself. But in the grand scheme of things, my idea of this still, going stupid is totally intact, actually. Because, right, I look at it as more or less the equivalent of this move here for GME. Right, this is like the breakout of the entire correction. If you go back to Bed Bath & Beyond, it's the same thing. So now we're having this mega leg down to set up a bigger move up, just like what we had here, right? It's the same thing. But yeah, finally, let's go back to SPY because this will always play a role in my analysis for the broad market. I'm still bullish, actually, but not much, barely. I don't have any longs at the moment. I'm looking to take them on Friday. I believe I tweeted about this, but this is, on a basic level, this is the count that I'm going with now. And all you really need to take away from this is we're in, this is our wave 4 of A, and we're about, if I'm correct, we will set a new high, within the coming week or two, but then we tank, and SPY is gonna come back under 400 before, going higher. This isn't a new view. We've been trading this for a while. This was the FOMC down here, and I was bullish back then. So I do think the rally is running out of steam, but I don't think it's done per se. If tomorrow, we lose this 417.8, let's just say 418 level, if we fail that zone, then it's definitely not a good look for upside continuation. But we'll play it by ear, and we'll know in a moment based off the reactions to the levels, which is how we do it. Right, more or less. This is what we're looking at. We have an ABC, so if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into A, B, 1, 2, then we're gonna have 3, 4, and 5. So we'd expect a low somewhere in this range for SPY before taking it up to new highs. If we're right about that, get ready because the market will go to shit pretty soon. But as for what that means for GME, right, on like a day-to-day scale, I don't really care day-to-day. It's not super interesting at the moment. Like, it could be something like this where we have like 1, 2, this is a 3, 4 up to like here, 5. I don't know. Like there's no real way to tell. We're gonna play it by ear as always. But like I said, it doesn't. I'm bearish under 47.99. If we hit 48, then my whole view has changed. But if we don't hit that, then I'm still bearish. That's it. That's how my mind works, my whole thought process. But it makes sense to be bearish, in my opinion. Like to have this sort of projection if we expect the whole market to fall, pretty much fall apart pretty soon. Like it's logical in my opinion. Like it makes sense. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I covered about everything. Once again, if you guys do want to join us in the trading room, the link will be, I'll put it in the description of this video, but it's also always in my bio on Twitter. If you would like more information, feel free to shoot me a DM. But that's about gonna do it. Excited to go pro. Very much looking forward to that, even though I lost the beard. But this is the step we gotta take. And actually the irony behind that is, like to get the gig, it's supposed to be through school. You're supposed to have a really good GPA. My GPA is shit. And I just like messaged the CEO on Twitter about it saying, it'd be cool if I could check it out, check out you guys' shop, see what it's all about. So future's looking bright. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. See you guys in the next one, whenever that may be. Peace.